Several suspected terrorists detained at the southern border. How were they caught? And is national security at risk? Welcome to Elizabeth Vargas Reports, earning your trust every night. Border Patrol has caught 7 potential terrorists trying to enter the United States from Mexico since the beginning of the month, and 6 of them were detained this past weekend. Looking at the bigger picture, there were a total of 23 arrests over the past 6 weeks. That's nearly as many suspected terrorists caught in 5 full years between 2017 and 2021. This all comes amid heightened scrutiny at the southern border. The Biden administration is under pressure to curb illegal immigration after Title 42 lifted last week. While the number of people crossing has dropped by nearly half, resources are drained in border towns. Detention facilities are at capacity. Churches and schools are being converted into shelters. There has been a demographic shift in immigrants who try to cross the southern border. There are fewer Mexicans and Central Americans and more people from other countries. Terrorists may now be among those looking for a way in. NewsNation border correspondent Allie Bradley is live in Yuma, Arizona. And Allie, you have exclusive details on one suspected terrorist captured earlier this month.
Yeah, Elizabeth, you're exactly right there. So we have exclusive details about this suspected terrorist from Colombia who traveled into Yuma, crossed into Yuma between ports of entry illegally and was taken into Border Patrol custody. And this, as the fiscal year apprehensions for people on the FBI's terrorist database, is actually surpassing last year's record. All eyes on national security, as at least 7 people on the FBI's terrorist screening database were apprehended in just a span of 2 weeks. Exclusive images of one man on the list obtained by NewsNation. He is from Colombia, and according to Border Patrol sources, he crossed into Yuma May 1st. He was taken into Border Patrol custody where he was flagged for being on the list. The FBI confirmed the match. Yuma's mayor saying there is concern of who and what is not being caught.
This was his path through, and because of the way they manage when I say they, I mean the cartels manage the traffic through the area, it becomes an easy way. So if there's one, there's more than one.
The man from Colombia is one of 7 since May 1st alone on the FBI's terror screening database who have been apprehended by Border Patrol agents between ports of entry. So far this fiscal year, there have been at least 103 apprehensions of people considered at risk for committing terror attempting to cross our southern border. In 2022, there were a total of 98 terrorist watch list apprehensions, all of them nabbed at the southern border. And then under former President Trump in 2021, there were 16 apprehensions for the year. Mayor Nichols says migrant crossings are still double what they were last month in Yuma, and it's essential that Border Patrol are out securing the border rather than processing.
What if they're not on the list? Because that list is not an absolute list, right? So if they've not done anything up to this point in their life to get on the list, but that's still their intention, how do we know?
Mayor Nichols says migrant crossings are still double what they were last month in Yuma, and it's essential that Border Patrol are out securing the border rather than transporting and processing.
They want to prevent the terrorist element coming into our country because it only takes a few of them to have a dramatic and highly negative impact to the security of our nation.
Okay, so when it comes to these individuals on the FBI's terrorist screening database, some of them actually came in and they use these big groups kind of as a Trojan horse to be able to blend in. That's how they were apprehended. So when it comes to these special interest countries, these are countries that are getting a little bit extra attention because they might have some kind of tie with terrorist activity. Those people will be processed just like everybody else, Elizabeth. That's what CBP tells me. But they will undergo additional screening and additional interviews as well before they are released.
All right, Allie Bradley from Yuma, Arizona. Thanks so much tonight.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.